Fellow Drops fans, we are stoked to ring in the new year with Prodigal's Colombia Las Perlitas Lot 3 Fellow Exclusive 2024. Let's get into it. Hello, fellow Drops fans, fellow fans, and coffee lovers everywhere. My name is Haley. I am your local resident Q grader, coming at you live from Fellow's storefront and playground in our pink room or gray room studio. Here to talk to you about a coffee that we are just so stoked to ring in the new year with. Colombia Las Perlitas Lot 3. It is a fellow exclusive from Prodigal Coffee. Could not ask for a better way to ring in the new year. Before I get into why this coffee is so, or more of why this coffee is so spectacular, I'm going to get into how I'm brewing it because it is a little bit different today. We do have a guest dial on the roster, and the guest dial is from none other than Scott Rao. This is Scott Rao's method. Thank you so much, Scott, for suggesting this dial and this method for Stag X Dripper. We really appreciate it. So I'm using 22 grams of Colombia Las Perlitas in to 375 grams out total. Brewing at 205 degrees Fahrenheit, suggested 204 to 206, so that range. I bloomed at 70 grams, range suggested is 65 to 70 grams. I'm going to go ahead and give one swirl and then make my second pour. So after I broke bloom, I bloomed 70 grams, broke bloom at 45 seconds. Then I went not to a weight limit, but basically until I reached the top of the filter in the Stag X Dripper. Let it go down just about halfway and then gave the dripper one swirl. Then I just poured my next pour. Right as the water reached about a ½ inch above the bed of grounds, I poured my next pour, which was again about to the top of the Stag X Dripper. Now that it's drained about halfway, I'll give one gentle swirl again of the dripper. After this drains to about ½ inch above the surface of the grounds, I'm going to do probably what's my last pour, what will probably be my last pour, because essentially this method just calls to repeat the methodology, right? Repeat the process until we hit 375 grams, which I do believe is going to be in my last pour. I ground on a 4.2 with Ode plus SSP burrs, which is about a 3.2 on Ode Gen 2. All other grind setting conversions for our grinders will be on our brew guide blog post. Link is in the video description. Just know that this is a medium fine grind setting, so you want to err on the side of medium fine for sure for this coffee. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and spiral pour up to 375 grams, which is where I will be finishing. And then I will give another gentle swirl once the water level goes about halfway so I don't spill over the sides. And then we will be done brewing and ready to enjoy this delicious coffee. Let's get into why this coffee is so cool. So one of the first things that I experienced and that I love so deeply about this coffee is that there's just such a big floral retronasal presence. So when you swallow the coffee, what is left kind of in your nasal cavity and in your olfactory system, right, is this huge floral, like just wide sweeping aromatic experience. Fantastic. There's also a lot of blood orange in the body, a lot of nectarine, some guava as it cooled too, a lot of like sweet citrus and a sweet citrus acidity, just high sweetness, but also this like wonderful, delicate, but clear structure. So many descriptors flying at you right now, I know, but just as this coffee goes hot to cool, so many different flavor aspects come out and present themselves, and it's truly, truly a flavor experience, but also a coffee that you could probably drink all day safely. It's probably delicious iced as well. I highly recommend flash icing it if it's warm where you are this time of year. And as always, we have espresso suggestions on our Brew Guide blog post linked in the description of this video. Don't be worried if this brew goes a little bit longer. Total brew times do vary, but this medium fine grind probably will push you into the longer brew times for sure. As always, it is easy to order from Fellow Drops. All you have to do is text us back the number of bags you want, 1, 2, 3, 5. You're probably gonna want a lot of bags of this coffee. If you don't want coffee this week, don't text us back and we won't charge you or send you unnecessary coffee. We'll just text you next week on Tuesday with another delicious, wonderful curated selection. I have been and will continue to be Haley, your brew guide and local Q grader. Thank you so much to Prodigal Coffee for bringing us this wonderful offering. Thanks so much to Scott for the dial notes, and thank you, fellow fans, for being here. I will see you next week for the next brew guide video. Happy New Year!